Hello students, in the last class we discussed about diamagnetic materials. Now we are going to discuss paramagnetic materials and ferromagnetic materials and hysteresis loop. What are the class we are discussing? There is a chance to be hysteresis loop if you go with the previous papers. Most of the times repeated question and easy question. From this there is a chance to get theory based questions in the competitive exams also. I am going to repeat them in a slow manner. Please take the notes and try to understand itself and make a note. Today I am going to recapitulate yesterday's class. Yesterday's class we are discussing about two parameters, namely magnetizing intensity, intensity of magnetization. Magnetizing intensity is denoted by H. Intensity of magnetization. This is denoted by I. Magnetic field induction B. Magnetic field induction B. So these are the terms we purpose mainly. I am going to repeat these things one more time. H, we are going to write down as H equal to Ni. This is the magnetizing field. If I apply H equal to Ni, this much current we are going to solenoid, then how much magnetizing? I equal to capital M by V. Number of magnetic moment per unit volume or pole strength developed per unit area of cross section is known as magnetizing intensity. Here we can write B in external magnetic field U equal to U naught H plus U naught I. These are the relations yesterday we derived. So based on this I am going to categorize the materials in the universe. We have number of materials. We can depending upon the behavior of magnetic materials in the external magnetic field, based on the behavior of magnetic materials in the external magnetic field, we can categorize them namely 3 times. And apart from this, we are discussing one more term, susceptibility. Susceptibility is equal to intensity of magnetization per H. I equal susceptibility is equal to I by H. These are the things yesterday's class. In yesterday's class we discussed. Now I am going to start my class with paramagnetic substance and behavior of paramagnetic substance in magnetic field. Now, sir, how? In this session, we are going to discuss paramagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance. Paramagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance. Paramagnetic substance and ferromagnetic substance. Now, tell me, how we can say how a material exhibit magnetism. So what is the condition to show the material magnetism? Sir, we have, if we consider any substance made up of atoms. So if you consider atom, it has nucleus and electron. Electron have two moments: spin magnetic moment, next orbital magnetic moment. Orbital magnetic moment. The combination of spin magnetic moment and orbital magnetic moment together produce the magnetic dipole moment. If any material has some resultant magnetic dipole moment, if the magnetic moment not equal to 0, then it is attracted by magnetic field. If the net magnetic dipole moment, I will write net magnetic dipole moment not equal to 0, then it is attracted by magnet. If net magnetic moment not equal to 0, it is attracted by magnet. If net magnetic moment equal to 0, repelled by magnet. Equal to 0, repelled by magnet. This is about magnetism, effect of magnetism exhibited by substance. So here we can consider any atom or molecule. It has, if any substance has net magnetic dipole moment M, net magnetic dipole moment, then it acts as a magnetic material. If net magnetic moment equal to 0, that is repelled by. What is meant by net magnetic moment 0? That means we don't have a ordered motion. If the substance don't have any ordered motion, then it acts as a, then its net magnetic dipole moment becomes 0, then it acts as a diamagnetic material. Now we are going to discuss paramagnetic material. So paramagnetic substance, in paramagnetic substance, what is the condition? The paramagnetic substance has a dipole moment. It has net dipole moment when it is not placed. I will write. Now we are going to discuss paramagnetic substance. What is meant by paramagnetic substance? These are the materials. These are the materials. These are the materials attracted by, I can write weakly. Clearly. Now what we let us contact, right? These are the materials. These are the materials are weakly attracted. These are the materials weakly attracted by external magnetic field. External magnetic field, first point I can say. Sir, if you place these materials in the external magnetic field, these are attracted, weakly attracted. Now, second point, they will move from low magnetic field to high magnetic field. If they are placed, second point, if they are placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, they will move from a region of low field to high field, a region of low magnetic field to high magnetic field. This is our second point. Once again, so these other materials are weakly attracted by external magnetic field. When they place in a non-uniform magnetic field, they move from a region of low magnetic field to high magnetic field. Sir, how we can represent non-uniform magnetic field? So magnetic lines of force shows the intensity. This is a in this region the field lines are far away. So I can say this is a weak magnetic field. This is a weak region. This is weak region. This is strong region. If I place any material in this is magnetic material. They are trying to move from a region of non-weak field to strong field. That means it is trying to move in forward direction. So after some time, it will come here. So this is the movement of non-magnetic material. Next, they will move from region of weak magnetic field to strong magnetic field. Then one more point. Magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility greater than 1. Magnetic susceptibility greater than 1 but small value. But have small value. Magnetic susceptibility greater than 1 but small value. Sorry, not about the letters. Greater than 1 but have small value. So this is about magnetic susceptibility. So I can write chi greater than 1, chi greater than 1, susceptibility. Next, I can write one. I want to say one more point. Its permeability also greater than 1. Mu greater than 1. What it means, sir? If I place it in the external magnetic field, see this is a bar magnet. I place an external magnetic field. Magnetic field lines are like this. Magnetic lines are for assume this external magnetic field. This is north pole. This is south pole. If you observe, number of field lines passing through this material, field lines are more when compared to surroundings. The number of field lines passing through this material is more. So these materials allow more number of magnetic lines of force than the vacuum. Here it indicates permittivity greater than 1, susceptibility greater than 1. The meaning is that the number of lines of force passing through the material is greater than the number of lines of force passing through the surrounding medium. This is about permeability and susceptibility. Next point. Next point. Susceptibility. The paramagnetic the magnetism exhibited by materials inversely proportional to the magnetic property. The magnetic property showed by paramagnetic material. Paramagnetic materials. Paramagnetic materials is inversely proportional to inversely proportional to temperature. The magnetic property showed by paramagnetic material inversely proportional to temperature. What it means? Susceptibility. Susceptibility inversely proportional to temperature. As we keep on increasing the temperature, paramagnetic material converted to paramagnetism of the material keep on decreasing. So that is the effect of temperature on the magnetism. This is about paramagnetic material. Examples. Example aluminium, calcium, sodium. Aluminium, calcium, sodium. This is aluminium, calcium, sodium, and oxygen, yet STP. These are the substances exhibit paramagnetism at room temperature. Now, I am going to explain ferromagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic substance. Sir, if you go with the ferromagnetic substance crystal lattice, see, I am going to explain a domain. What is meant by domain? The region. In a particular region, all the atoms have the same dipole moment. What it means? Assume this is a crystal. This is a crystal. I am assuming some domains. Like this, I am assuming some domain. If we assume this domain, a particular region, at a particular region, these are the clearly. This is the material. Like this. Some of the regions, if you consider these are the regions, a particular set of region has the net magnetic moment in the same direction. If we place this material in external magnetic field, these domains align in one unidirection. All the domains are come to same direction. So we can say before placing in an external magnetic field, they have some net magnetic moment. This net magnetic moment, before placing in the external magnetic field, the net magnetic dipole moment, is high. Before placing external magnetic field, net magnetic dipole moment is. If I place an external magnetic field, they are strongly magnetized. When placing external magnetic field, all the domains are come to the same direction, so they become strongly magnetized. When they place in external magnetic field, they are strongly magnetized. Why they are strongly magnetized? Because before placing an external magnetic field, they have some net dipole moment, net magnetic dipole moment. Most of the domains have the same direction. Because I don't think all are in the same region, but most of the regions have the net dipole moment. If they place an external magnetic field and at the center of external magnetic field keep on increasing, then magnetic intensity, the strength of magnetism also increases. So this is about ferromagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic substance. First point, they have the net magnetic dipole moment. The net magnetic dipole moment is high. Net magnetic dipole moment high means susceptibility greater than 1 and has more value. Next, more number of magnetic lines of force, more number of, 1 minute, I want to declare this. More number of magnetic lines of force. More number of magnetic lines of force flows through them. Lines of force flows through them. Flows through them. Than the surroundings. Than the surroundings. Here also, as the temperature increases, ferromagnetic substance converted to paramagnetic substance. Paramagnetic substance. That particular temperature is known as called Curie's temperature. Curie's temperature. Curie's temperature. As the temperatures of this arrow indicates increases. I will write increases. This number decreases. Decreases. So please remember, whenever the upward arrow indicates increases, as the temperature increases, ferromagnetic substance converted to paramagnetic substance. The temperature is called Curie's temperature. The temperature is called Curie temperature. This is about ferromagnetic substance. Next, one more point I want to explain. Here, assume these are the two hands. Here, magnetic field from right to left, like this. These are the two hands exhibit magnetic field. Now, I suspend a rod like this, perpendicular to the magnetic field. Assume magnetic field in this direction, left to right, and a rod is suspended like this. So here, rod and magnetic field, how they are perpendicular to each other? No, see, assume. This is radial, this is the magnetic field. So magnetic field in this direction and the rod is suspended perpendicular to the magnetic field. Then what will happen? This field is suspended. Please try to understand. This is a rod suspended perpendicularly like this. This rod is suspended perpendicularly. The magnetic field is in this direction, B. Or magnetic field is there. Then after some time, this rod aligned in the direction of magnetic field. Once again I am repeating. ये freely suspended. Freely suspended material in bracket para and ferro. Comes to rest, or we can say or align. A freely suspended material that in the form of rod comes to rest or align in the direction of external magnetic field. Assume the magnetic field initially in this direction. I place the rod like this. That means magnetic field and rod, how they are perpendicular to each other. Magnetic field direction in this direction, rod is like this. After some time, what will happen? The rod align the direction of magnetic field initially like this. In the same manner, if I suspend the rod diamagnetic material in the direction, after some time it align perpendicular to the direction. Here, a diamagnetic material, second point, a diamagnetic material align perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So these are the 2 points. A freely suspended rod, if I suspend the rod in the direction of magnetic field, this is the diamagnetic material. I suspend like this. A freely suspended rod align perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. If I suspend the rod perpendicularly, if it is a paramagnet or ferromagnet, it align in the direction of magnetic field. This is about all types of substance. Next, one more concept, an important concept, hysteresis loop, that we can say as B versus H graph. This is very, very important in board exam. Hysteresis loop. Hysteresis loop. Sir, what is meant by hysteresis loop? We are going to discuss now. You will like clearly. Assume, I will explain. Sir, consider this solenoid. This is a solenoid. In this, assume this is the iron core solenoid. In this, I kept a magnetic material, that is the ferromagnetic material. Then what will happen? What I get? This is external voltage. I kept a magnet. Now, in the last class, I explained a relation B equal to mu naught Ni. Here Ni is the magnetizing current, so I can write B equal to mu naught H. So B proportional to H only. B proportional to H. As the value of B increases, as the value of H increases, B increases. As the value of B value depends upon H. As the H increases, B also increases. So this is clear from yesterday's class. Now what I will do? I am drawing a curve. H versus B. Now what I am doing here? What is the value of H? H is equal to Ni. How we can increase H? By increasing the voltage, by increasing the potential difference between the two ends of the wire. If I increase this potential difference, what will happen? Current through the wire increases. So I am increasing H by increasing the current. Then what will happen? As the value of H keep on increasing, I increase it. H value we can keep on increasing by increasing I. So at a particular value, assume this will go. Sir, I keep on increasing the H, but after this A, the magnetic strength do not change in the material. That means the material is completely magnetized. That A is known as saturation point. Beyond A, whatever the H value increases, B value not increases. That is known as A is a saturation point. OA is the saturation current, or OA is the saturation point. Beyond that, it won't increase. Now, what I am doing, I am increasing the current in the forward direction. So what I mean, first thing, I increase the current from 0 to A. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am decreasing the current from. So first initially I increase the current from 0 to A. Now what I am doing, I am decreasing the current from A to 0. If we decrease the current from A to 0, then what will happen? Sir, when current is 0, the current reaches to 0. Here it is increasing from 0 to A. Now decrease from A to 0. Here the current becomes 0. Even the current becomes 0, I becomes 0, but B not equal to 0. At this point, I becomes 0, current 0. At O, current 0. That means at this point, H value 0. At H equal to 0, B exists. I equal to 0, current becomes 0, but B not equal to 0. What we did in the reverse direction, current decreased and it becomes 0. Now what we did in the reverse direction, I increase the current. At this point, it becomes 0. In the reverse direction, I increase the current. First I become A keep on decreasing and 0. What I did, I reverse the battery. These two terminals I reverse. In the reverse direction, I keep on setting the current at a particular value. Get I equal to 0, B not equal to 0. This OB is called retentivity. This condition is called OB is called retentivity. Or we can say residual magnetism. So when I become 0, even though I become 0, the magnetic field induction, that is magnetization, intensity of magnetization M naught 0, that is known as retentivity. Now I further reverse the current. I current, what I did, I send the current in reverse direction. Get a particular value, this both the total magnetism becomes 0. So at this point B becomes 0 only. So at C value of B is 0. I will write clearly. OB is the retentivity. I want to make net magnetic field 0. First what I did, assume this is a bar magnet. Already I said dipoles are aligned. In order to disturb these dipoles, I reduce the current, I reverse the current. I make the current 0. If you make the current 0, the net dipoles decreases. Assume that dipole decreases. I want to make this 3 also 0. Then what I did, I reverse the direction. If I reverse the direction, the net dipole moment becomes 0. Net magnetic moment is 0 means we are demagnetizing. So this OC or CO is called cohesivity. OC is called cohesivity. Cohesivity. That means the point at which net magnetic field becomes 0 is known as cohesivity. At this point, I not equal to 0, B equal to 0. Now B becomes 0. Now what I did, in the reverse direction, I further increase the current up to C, up to B. O to 0, 0 to C, next C to D, I will increase. In the reverse direction, I increase the current, D. Then what will happen? The magnetic field reaches to the saturation level. That means it reaches to E. Here OB and OC are the saturation values. Here OA, it reaches to saturation value. 1 minute. I will draw the curve, complete curve. 1 minute. Now you can understand clearly. Here what will happen? At C magnetic field 0, I further keep on increasing. Assume this is the point D. Yeah, I can write. So we can get a curve O, A, B, C, D, E, F, A. Here at D, the current reaches maximum. So here I reverse the current in the further direction, then the material is magnetized in the reverse direction. What I did first, this is a material I magnetized in the forward direction. Then what I did, this unmagnetized material, I magnetize in the forward direction. Next, I demagnetize it. First, magnetize and demagnetize once again. Demagnetize. Further what it is, magnetize in the reverse direction. First, I take a unmagnetized normal material, magnetize in a perpendicular one direction, further demagnetize and magnetize in the reverse direction. So this is the corrosive. This is OA is the maximum saturation value for forward current. OE is the saturation value in the reverse direction. Now what it is? I keep on decreasing the current in the reverse direction. So I am decreasing the current. I am coming from D to O. If you come from D to O, I decrease the current. If I decrease the current, then some residual magnetic field exists. This is O. I keep on decreasing. Even though keep on decreasing, it not if I decrease current from 0 to E. If I keep on decreasing here, when H becomes 0. When H becomes 0, here one value of this now, this OE. So at H equal to 0, at H equal to 0 in the reverse direction, some value exists, B become OE. In the forward direction, H equal to 0, magnetic field exists, that is OB. In the reverse direction, H equal to 0, magnetic field exists, that is OE. OB and OE are called retentivity. So when the magnetizing current becomes 0, some residual magnetic field exists in the material, that is known as retentivity. In order to make this OE equal to 0, I further increase the current in the reverse direction. At OF, at F, what will happen? The current becomes 0. The current exists and it is demagnetized. I further increase the current, then it is magnetized. That is known as hysteresis loop. That means as the here B is lagging H. So H becomes 0, some B exists. That is known as hysteresis. Lagging of B with respect to H is known as hysteresis loop. I am going to repeat one more time. Don't get confused. This is easy only. Lagging of B with respect to H. H is called hysteresis loop. Hysteresis loop. The definition is like this. Lagging of B with respect to H is known as hysteresis loop. Now what will happen? Here we are keep on increasing the current. First case, please try to understand. I am increasing the current from 0 to A. I increase the H value. H value keep on increasing. First, if you increase the H value, what will happen? See, I keep on increasing the H. Get a particular value. The magnet is completely magnetized. At a particular value, H is keep on increasing. At a particular value, of H, B become constant. B constant. That is known as saturation point. Saturation point, beyond that there is no magnetism possible. That means that magnetic material is completely magnetized. As the H value increases, at a particular value of H, B become constant, that is known as saturation point. Once saturation point reached, what I did? B value keep on decreasing. H value keep on decreasing and become 0. H value keep on decreasing and become 0. And become 0. At H equal to 0, some residual magnetization present in the matter, present in the material. Some residual magnetism present in the material, that is represented by OB. OB, that is represented by OB. Here OB is known as retentivity, the residual magnetism present in the material when H equal to 0. That means magnetization, even though magnetization will become 0, intensity of magnetization not become 0. That means even though we switch off the current, some magnetic field is present in the material. That is known as residual magnetic field. The residual magnetic field is known as retentivity. To remove this residual magnetic field, so some residual magnetic field is present, no? So in order to demagnetize that material, what we are doing, we are sending current in the reverse direction. Now third point, if I reverse the current and increase it slowly. What I am doing, first increase in forward direction, decrease in forward direction, that is completed. Now what I am doing in the reverse direction, see, from 0 to A, next A to 0, this got completed. At 0 it has OB. Now what I am doing, I am increasing the current in the reverse direction. If you increase the current in the reverse direction at a point C, if current is reversed, and increase it slowly, yet see the material completely demagnetized. Here the OC completely demagnetized. Here OC is called coercivity. The point at which the material is completely demagnetized, that point is known as coercivity. Here OC indicates the coercivity. Now what you did, I keep on increasing the current in the backward direction. If you keep on increasing the current in the backward direction, what will happen? The material is magnetized in the reverse direction. Initially in the forward direction, the material is magnetized in one direction. Finally, it demagnetized. Once again, we magnetize in the reverse direction. So this point D indicates the saturation current, saturation value in the reverse direction. A indicates the saturation in the forward direction. D indicates the saturation in reverse direction. Then what I did? I keep on decreasing the current. If you keep on decreasing the current, H becomes 0. Here at this point H equal to 0. Here H becomes 0. If the H becomes 0, B not equal to 0. Here H becomes 0, B not equal to 0. Here OP and OE indicates the retentivity. In order to make the current 0, I further increase the current in the reverse direction. At OF, it completely demagnetizes. If I further increase the current at A, it further magnetizes. That means in the reverse direction, it won't follow this path. It followed other path. That this total cycle indicates that the lagging of B with respect to H is known as hysteresis loop. So this experiment helps us to know the nature of the material. So if retentivity and corrosivity both are more, then they become as a permanent magnets. To make permanent magnets, this retentivity value and corrosivity values are very, very important. To make the magnetic magnets, we can prepare the magnets based on these two values only. So this is about hysteresis loop. Based on retentivity and corrosivity, if these two values are high, then it acts as a strong magnet. Now I am going to define materials, electromagnets and permanent magnets. In 2 steps I will finish this concept. What is the difference between electromagnets? What is the condition to make permanent magnets and electromagnets? If you want to make a permanent magnet, it has the four following characters. Permanent magnets. Permanent magnets. If you want to say anything is a permanent magnet, the magnetism is high at room temperature. The magnetic behavior must be high. Behavior must be high at room temperature. The magnetic behavior must be high at room temperature. Next switch. It must have high retentivity, high corrosivity. Next, high permittivity, high susceptibility. If a material